Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the second showcase of the 2021 Great Minds in STEM Conference. My name is Elia Saldana, and this is Geoff Rivas, and we're your hosts all week as we celebrate this year's class of GMiS honorees.
A special buenas tardes to all of our professional and student attendees streaming this event live from all over the country as they take a break from their webinars, networking events, and competitions. We expect many of you to be among these honorees at a future GMiS conference, as many of the role models we'll meet today were in your shoes not that long ago.
We've got a fantastic show in store for you today as we celebrate the pursuit of excellence. As we touched on in our first awards showcase, excellence has been at the core of the HENAAC Awards since the very beginning. The late Dr. Michael Carroll, longtime dean of the George R. Brown School of Engineering at Rice University, was the first chair of the HENAAC Awards Selection Committee. He, as much as anyone, is responsible for instituting the processes that have helped ensure that excellence remains the North Star for these awards. It was also Dr. Carroll who helped define the peer review process modeled on the National Academy of Engineering's new member admission process that GMiS continues to use to this day.
Excellence is hard to define at times, but you know it when you see it. It's what legendary coach John Wooden from my alma mater, UCLA, Go Bruins, called competitive greatness, which is the ability to be at your very best every time your very best is needed. It sounds simple, but to achieve that level of excellence requires a commitment to the grind of preparation, to continual education, and to constantly challenging yourself with goals of ever-increasing difficulty.
The pursuit of excellence is not without risks or without sacrifices, and while it sounds contradictory, the road to excellence is often paved with failures. Austrian philosopher Rainer Rilke said, "The very purpose of life is to be defeated by greater and greater things."
Excellence, then, is not the absence of failure. It's the ambition to pursue the goals that others can't or won't, combined with the capacity to take what others may see as a failure to achieve those goals, learn from it, and then come back again and again if necessary, better prepared and more determined until the goal has been achieved.
And then, once that goal is reached, those who are truly pursuing excellence move on to the next goal and then the next goal, because that's the other thing about excellence. It's a journey, not a destination. It appears only when it's in motion, never standing still.
As we'll see from the HENAAC Award winners we're honoring today, standing still is not something they would ever be accused of. These are engineers and scientists who are on the move and firmly on the road to excellence.
Before we meet these outstanding STEM professionals, let's hear from Great Minds in STEM's excellent new Executive Director, Ms. Berta Aro.
Thank you, Elia, and thank you all for joining us at our 33rd Annual Great Minds in STEM Conference. It is an honor to host you virtually once again, and we feel privileged to have the support of our sponsors and partners over the last 2 years that have been especially challenging for everyone. What we learned from the pandemic is that extraordinary problems require first-class people working towards world-class solutions. I want to thank and congratulate our extraordinary first-class team of staff, contractors, and volunteers for once again rising to the challenge. With the enthusiastic support of our sponsors and conference attendees, we're well on our way to delivering another world-class virtual experience this year. We're especially excited that so many of our conference traditions have endured and have even been enhanced in the virtual format. These award showcases, for example, allow us to package the inspirational stories of our professional honorees in a dynamic way that more people can see more quickly and conveniently. The participation of our student attendees has also been particularly exhilarating again this year. The College Bowl has returned to the GMiS Conference, and the competition has been as fierce and high energy as ever. The research poster competition, too, another longtime conference institution, saw near record numbers of entries this year, thanks to the virtual format. Last week, we inaugurated another amazing class of scholarship recipients into the GMiS Scholar Society. The class of 2021 brought the total number of students we've awarded to over 1,700 since 2001. And the program has now distributed over $5 million in scholarships. GASI once again held their annual summit during week 1 of the GMiS Conference, including their popular and dynamic hackathon. The GASI students will continue to participate across the conference during week 2, and the winners of the hackathon and all the other competition events will be announced during the Student Leadership Awards, another cherished institution at GMiS, later this week. And last but not least, the virtual career fair that was such a hit last year returns for 2 days, this Thursday and Friday, on the Brazen platform, where student attendees will find their dream jobs and start their STEM career journeys. I want to express our sincere gratitude again to our sponsors, especially the 2021 host sponsors Lockheed Martin Corporation and Shell Oil Company. Enjoy the rest of this and the other award showcases, and we look forward to seeing you all next year in Pasadena.
Thank you, Berta. Miss Berta Aro joined Great Minds in STEM way back in 2003 in the Development Department, and she rose to be Director of Development in 2012. She thrived in that role for years, cultivating GMIS's most important corporate and government relationships before being named Executive Director in August of 2021.
Ms. Haro's appointment, together with Dr. Juan Rivera's assuming the CEO role early this year, mark an important transition and a new era of leadership for Great Minds in STEM, after the long and fruitful tenure of Ms. Ana Pratt, who served as Executive Director or CEO for 15 years and guided the nonprofit through a period of sustained growth and expansion. Ana's time as CEO ended in January of 2021, but she remains active on the GMIS Board of Directors, where she serves as Board Treasurer.
Congratulations, Berta, and thank you, Ana. Okay, let's hand out some hardware, shall we? To present today's first award in the category of Most Promising Engineer with an undergraduate degree, please welcome the Director of Information Services and Enterprise Services Integration for the Boeing Company, a proud GMIS board member, Mr. Tony Padilla.
In her young but already impressive career, Pryscila Verduzco has mastered the art of navigating around, over, and through obstacles. Her Mexican immigrant parents, with little education, struggled to provide for her and her 4 siblings, but she focused on school and was soon enrolled in the Gifted and Talented program, where she excelled. During her senior year of high school, she was involved in a serious car accident that required intensive rehabilitation to regain her ability to walk. After working her way back to full health, Pryscila finished high school and enrolled at California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. This accomplishment inspired her brothers and sisters to pursue college as well. A past GMIS scholar, Pryscila completed her Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Cal Poly Pomona and was hired by NAVSEA, where she became the lead designer of new calibration gauges for a key U.S. Navy weapons system. In 2018, she joined Boeing's Autonomous Systems Division as a systems engineer, working with uncrewed undersea vehicles. In that role, she became the first woman to perform at-sea field testing for the Boeing Echo Voyager vehicle. In just a few years at Boeing, Pryscila led test planning activities for government test programs, directed the integration of a new payload into the Echo Voyager vehicle, and acted as the control account manager for the Boeing Orca program, overseeing a budget of over $10 million. Today, Pryscila works as a systems engineer at Columbus Technologies and Services, supporting various contracts with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. She is a bright, determined engineer, and we expect great things from her in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly my honor to present Pryscila Verduzco, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Most Promising Engineer with an undergraduate degree.
Thank you, Tony. It is with great honor that I accept this award that was awarded to me by Great Minds in STEM. In no way did I ever imagine this would ever happen to me. I come from a family of immigrants. I'm a first-generation student, and I grew up in poverty, to be honest. My family lived below the poverty line. There was a time in our lives where we were homeless for a bit. So even the thought of being where I am now wasn't even a possibility. And so going into high school, I started looking into what I could possibly do. And at the time, I actually decided on culinary arts. And so I was determined to be a chef. And then, of course, my senior year of high school, I got into a car accident where I was pretty severely injured. Doctors were surprised I made it through. And it was that major event that kind of spurred a huge chain of events that eventually made me have to pursue something other than culinary arts. And I ended up deciding that I liked the AP physics class I was taking. So I decided to apply to Cal Poly Pomona to be a mechanical engineer. However, because of my accident, any track and field scholarships that I had been offered previously were withdrawn because I couldn't walk, much less run. And so I actually applied to probably at least 100 different scholarships, one of which was the Great Minds in STEM scholarship. The day that I was supposed to either accept or withdraw my offer from Cal Poly Pomona, I hadn't received any scholarships. And so I was about to pick up the phone to call to withdraw when I got a call from GMiS saying I had won the NAVC scholarship. And that allowed me to be able to achieve my dream of actually being able to go to university for a STEM degree. And so that has been a life-changing moment for me. And so to all you students out there, you may encounter during your educational career or your work career a lot of setbacks. And my advice to you is take those setbacks and make them work for you. Use those hardships and just turn them back on themselves, power through them, and show them that you're better than that and that you are worth whatever you are working for. Thank you.
To present the award for Most Promising Engineer Advanced Degree PhD, please welcome Mr. Michael E. Buckman, Analytical Technology and Reliability Director for the Dow Chemical Company.
Dr. Lauren M. Jackson is an exceptional engineer and scientist who joined Dow as an analytical manager in 2018. In just a few short years, she's rapidly impacted Dow's process analytical technology and provided technical leadership to some of the company's highest value projects. Currently, Dr. Jackson leads diverse multidisciplinary teams to deliver complete analyzer systems for multi-million-dollar chemical manufacturing plants and water treatment facilities. She's been instrumental in helping expand Dow's use of various online analytical measurements, and she's a champion for improved safety measures at the company. A graduate of Marist College, where she earned her BS degree in chemistry and biochemistry, Dr. Jackson spent time as a National Science Foundation Research Fellow with the Smithsonian Institution, and later as a Howard Hughes Institute Research Fellow at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, all before earning her PhD in analytical chemistry at Penn State. The author of 21 publications, Dr. Jackson has led over 13 environmental sustainability projects that have contributed substantially to emission reductions, monitoring, and compliance, and she's supervised projects with a total analytical scope of over $28 million, contributing to a revenue of over $100 million. She is also recognized as a subject matter expert for Dow for safety instrumented systems. Dr. Jackson pays tribute to her Cuban refugee grandparents through her commitment to Dow's Hispanic and Latin network. She mentors several Hispanic researchers through the American Chemical Society Fellows Program, and she wrote STEM through her role as a mentor with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present Dr. Lauren M. Jackson, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Most Promising Engineer Advanced Degree.
My father and mother supported every interest I've ever had. Growing up, I had a chemistry lab right next to my dollhouse, and they were highly supportive of all of those things. Furthermore, when there were many people telling me that science is not a good career for girls to do, my parents never stood for such language, and they were my support and my number one cheerleaders throughout that process. My mother's family immigrated from Cuba as refugees, political refugees during the revolution, and basically they came from a lot of wealth and high influence and power, and then had to start over completely with absolutely nothing in America. It is only through their dedication and belief in the greatness of our family and also the greatness of this country that I am here today. So I share those excellent achievements with them today. I feel that through my career and through winning this award, I have completed their sacrifice full circle. And once again, we are standing strong and doing well in this country. And also, I would like to encourage any other young Latina women out there that you can achieve your dreams. You can do exactly what you want. And for every, I feel that, we usually have 3 no's to every yes, or 3 don't do it to every do it we get when it comes to advancing in the STEM degrees. But I just want to tell you that you can absolutely do it too, and I will also be one of your yeses.
Congratulations, Dr. Jackson. The academic hosts have been critical to the success of every GMiS conference. In addition to chairing the Independent Selection Committee, the academic hosts ground the proceedings and give the entire conference a sense of place and local flavor, something we've come to appreciate even more in the virtual environment. We met one academic host yesterday, and today we have a special message from the California State University system.
Hello, my name is Sylvia Alva, and it's my privilege to serve as Executive Vice Chancellor of Academic and Student Affairs for the California State University, the nation's largest, most diverse, and most consequential 4-year public university. Each year, more than 130,000 students graduate from the CSU's 23 campuses, prepared to make their mark on the world. These students reflect the dynamic diversity that makes our country strong. Indeed, the CSU is perhaps the nation's most powerful driver of social mobility. Approximately half of our nearly 500,000 students identify as students of color, and more than 1/3 are the first in their family to attend college. These students are writing their success story at the CSU, forging their own path, and in the process, our nation's future. But before our students graduate and enter the workforce, the CSU is preparing them to be successful in 21st century STEM careers. In fact, more than 20,000 CSU students earn degrees each year in STEM fields. They learn from world-class faculty who are leaders in their discipline, and they conduct vital research to address some of the nation's and state's most pressing issues in engineering, sustainability, contemporary agriculture, water quality and resource management, and wildfire science, to name just a few. They also participate in internships with titans of industry, developing important and lifelong connections as they hone the skills needed for the careers of today and tomorrow. And now, students from across the CSU will have the opportunity to participate at the newly established Global Hispanic Serving Institution Equity Innovation Hub. on our Northridge campus. The hub is the result of a visionary public-private partnership with the state of California and with Apple, which in addition to its generous financial support, will provide advanced technology, design support, and thought partnership as the project expands. The hub will drive student success and equity on a national scale, reimagining the way Hispanic-serving institutions across the country approach STEM education, equipping Latinx and other diverse students with skills and pathways for successful careers in these high-demand fields. And it will inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers too, by hosting middle and high school students and their families. That's consequential. That's transformative. That's the California State University. So I ask you, are you ready to hire a CSU graduate?
Thank you again to the California State University System and the University of Southern California for serving as academic hosts. We also want to acknowledge Dr. Emily Allen, Dean of Cal State LA's College of Engineering, Computer Science and Technology, and Dr. Yanis Yortsos, Dean of the University of Southern California's Viterbi School of Engineering, who served as co-chairs of the 2021 Selection Committee.
Okay, let's get back to our honorees. To present our next award, please welcome Dr. Andrew McElroy, the Integrated Security Solutions Associate Lab Director at Sandia National Laboratories.
The U.S. government has announced plans to decarbonize the energy sector by 2035 and the entire American economy by 2050. Research conducted by engineers like Dr. Kenneth Armijo is central to meeting these goals. As a systems engineer at Sandia National Laboratories, Dr. Armijo conducts critical research to discover and develop next-generation storage technology for clean energy production. Dr. Armijo is also a principal investigator at Sandia's National Solar Thermal Test Facility, where he researches advanced materials for thermal storage. As the leader of the Department of Energy's massive Generation 3 concentrating solar power liquid pathway program, he develops high-temperature concentrating solar power plants that rely on supercritical carbon dioxide. He is also a subject matter expert in the application and use of molten salts, alkali metals, and high-flux, high-temperature materials. A prolific author with publication citations numbering in the hundreds, Dr. Armijo also holds 13 U.S. patents. A native New Mexican whose family has been farming along the Rio Grande Valley for many generations, Dr. Armijo first became interested in engineering while troubleshooting problems with his family's tractor. That curiosity powered him to a degree in mechanical engineering from the University of New Mexico. He also holds advanced degrees from the University of California, Berkeley, where he focused on the science of heat transfer in thermal fluids. Outside of the lab, Dr. Armijo is active with Sandia's Manos program. He co-founded the group's bilingual family science nights for students and parents. He also continues to support his family's farm business, which produces organic fruits and vegetables, including some of New Mexico's famous green and red chilies, the best you'll ever taste. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present Dr. Kenneth Armijo, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for the Most Promising Engineer, Advanced Degree.
I am humbled and deeply honored to receive this prestigious HENAAC Most Promising Engineer Award. I would like to thank the nomination committee and Great Minds in STEM for this esteemed honor. I also want to thank my amazing wife, Danette, for always encouraging my ambitions, ideas, and goals. I'd also like to thank my parents, Ken and Rosa Armijo, and my family for their unwavering support and love throughout my life. I'd also like to thank my mentors, including the late Tom Cummings, for helping me understand what it means to succeed not just in my career, but in life and to do things with a purpose. The last 2 years have been challenging, to say the least, for all of us, but I have been inspired by the perseverance of so many and the grit of many heroes that don't necessarily wear a cape. This includes the leadership at Sandia National Laboratories, who I too would like to thank for the nomination. This includes my manager, Dr. Margaret Gordon, and now Director Amy Halloran for their support and their leadership in the important scientific research we do in renewable energy as we continue to work to curb the mighty challenges of climate change. I'm very proud of my roots and being born and raised on a chili pepper farm in Sabinal, New Mexico. Growing up as a first-generation Mexican-American, I have realized the challenge as well as the importance of being successful as a Latino. I am humbled by the sacrifices my family has had to endure for many generations. They are the true winners of this award. From farming, ranching, industrial work, and even just immigrating here to the United States, their endurance and legacies have been so inspirational. Los valores y lecciones de la familia son lecciones para nuestra felicidad ahora. And for all those students out there that have big dreams and for making a difference in their communities and in this world, never stop dreaming, always keep believing. For even during the tough times, when you show your true self, you can make the impossible reality. I am here today because so many people believed in me. And to all of you out there, thank you. Finally, if a first-generation chili farmer can do it, so can you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Mil gracias a todos.
To present the award for Lifetime Achievement in Industry, please welcome Mr. Michael Thacker, Executive Vice President of Innovation and Commercial Business at Bell.
In her nearly 4-decade career at Bell, Patricia R. Sanchez, or Patsy as she's known to her friends and colleagues, has built a reputation as an expert on the Bell 412 aircraft, a descendant of the legendary Huey helicopter. She became an authority that designers and project leads lean on to verify their plans and designs, and "Go ask Patsy" became a common phrase around Bell. Her deep knowledge of the components and processes employed to build and maintain the 412 and many other legacy aircraft led to her becoming a project engineer in Bell's commercial business, where she excelled and worked effectively with a variety of departments in the United States and Canada. Her latest role, as a commercial applications engineering manager, was a step up for her in responsibilities and recognition of her value to Bell. Patsy's story is one of persistence and perseverance. She began her career in 1981 in the Bell Mass Properties Group, where she became a technical point of contact for the company's mainframe weights analysis program, WAVES. Over the years, Patsy led multiple upgrade projects for WAVES, the success of which has been essential to Bell's ability to meet precise customer requirements. From her time in college at the University of Texas at El Paso, a first-generation Mexican-American from the Texas-Mexico border, and the fourth of 6 sisters, Patsy has poured her heart and soul into the community. Among her many contributions and activities, her leadership roles with various groups that help women who are victims of domestic violence find full-time housing and job training opportunities is perhaps the one of which she is most proud. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the Hispanic Engineer National Achievement Awards Corporation Award for Lifetime Achievement in Industry to Patricia R. Patsy Sanchez. Congratulations, Patsy.
I grew up in a traditional Hispanic family, the fourth of 6 girls. My sisters and I are all first-generation Americans, born and raised bilingual and bicultural in El Paso, Texas. We're an engineering and education family. Grandfather and father were engineers. My sisters are all engineers or bilingual education teachers. My dad's dream was for all of us to be math teachers, so when my oldest sister changed her major to engineering, Dad didn't think it was a woman's career. That's when my mother's example kicked in. Never bet against a Latina. My sister earned both the math and engineering degrees, including a PhD. She broke the barrier for the rest of us. I graduated from UT El Paso and hired directly into Bell Fort Worth 40 years ago. There were only a handful of degreed women engineers at Bell then, and for a shy young Latina living outside of a border town for the first time in her life, the cultural shock was really confusing. But I'm my mother's daughter, and I persisted. Being in a traditional male career wasn't easy, but it built a surprising skill set. My challenge was to get my coworkers to see past the novelty of our differences. I got them to connect with me, stretch out of their comfort zone, and focus on our commonalities. This team-building skill, combined with my technical knowledge, led to my assignment as Bell's chief engineer for our Army LUH program. Working directly with the Army, including a flight demo at Fort Rucker, pulled me into a new awareness of being a first. I was Bell's first woman chief engineer and first person of color in that role, and I was definitely the only woman among the 4 competing teams. Because the military is so overwhelmingly male-dominant, it was intimidating, but it brought me straight back to the memory of my dad trying to keep my sister in her gender lane, triggered my mom's lesson about Latinas, and I went full speed ahead. As the air vehicle manager for our 412 team, I led a team based in Texas and Quebec. Distance and cultural differences were challenging, but again, emphasizing commonalities bridged those gaps. We accomplished a tremendous amount during those years that we're proud of, but what means the most is our collaboration and the close relationships that endure to this day. My career is all about family, commonality, persistence, and also in knowing that on the other side of what I don't want to do is the life that I want.
Congratulations, Patricia. We have 2 more awards to present today, but before we do, we want to remind everyone to follow GMIS on social media, where you'll find frequent updates on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
You should also subscribe to the GMIS YouTube channel, where all of this year's awards showcases can be found in full once they've premiered, and where each individual winner's presentation will be available to view and share on your own social media.
The 2021 luminaries, which premiered during week 1 of the conference, are also available on the GMIS YouTube channel, as are all of the HENAAC Award shows going back several years.
Okay, back to the class of 2021. To present today's second HENAAC Award for Lifetime Achievement, please welcome the Director of NASA Ames Research Center, Dr. Eugene Tu.
On behalf of NASA and the Ames Research Center, it is my pleasure to be presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award in Government to Dr. Donald Mendoza of NASA Ames. Dr. Mendoza's 23-year career at NASA Ames Research Center has covered multiple titles, including Systems Engineer, Knowledge Management Officer, and Quality Management System Manager, to name just a few. In his current position, he is responsible for the overall administration and technical operations of the System Safety and Mission Assurance Division, covering facilities across Ames Research Center. The thread connecting his multiple appointments is that each required a dedication to the service of others. An agent of change and a force multiplier, Dr. Mendoza has helped ensure that the Ames Research Center continually meets NASA's and the industry's strict quality management standards. In the process, he's leveraged his ever-expanding roles to help historically underrepresented people like him reach their career goals. He's well known as a champion of diversity and inclusion across all of NASA. Dr. Mendoza's journey to a remarkable career at the world's leading space agency began in the most unlikely place imaginable, on his family farm near California's San Joaquin River. But it was there he became captivated by flight, by watching the birds gliding overhead as he labored 7 days a week every summer, from sunup to sundown, often in 110 degrees heat, from the time he was just 6 until he left for college. Don eventually graduated from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo with a degree in aerospace engineering, and would go on to earn his master's and doctoral degree in mechanical engineering from UC Berkeley. Among his many achievements, Dr. Mendoza counts building the Ames Research Center's most diverse and inclusive technical organization to be the most significant in his long career. Friends and colleagues, it's my honor to present Dr. Donald R. Mendoza, winner of the 2021 HENAAC Award for Lifetime Achievement, Government.
It is an honor to be recognized by Great Minds in STEM with a Lifetime Achievement Award at this year's Hispanic Engineer National Achievement Awards Conference. I humbly accept this award, and not just for myself, but I accept it on behalf of all those people, institutions, and experiences that have contributed to the many opportunities I have had and the many challenges I have overcome. In particular, I accept it on behalf of my current institutions. First, there is the NASA Ames Research Center, where under its current director, Dr. Eugene Tu, the ideals of diversity and inclusion have gained as much prominence as any other part of NASA's mission. And yes, we are going back to the moon and on to Mars, and we will be going as a diverse but unified people. And second, there is Menlo College, where under its current president, Mr. Stephen Weiner, the ideals of equality and equity have produced one of the nation's most diverse student populations, with well over an incredible 30% of its students being first generational. There is a place for everyone at Menlo College. And I accept it on behalf of all those people that have, are, or will face discrimination, and hope their experiences will serve to further diversity and inclusion for everyone. Again, thank you to Great Minds in STEM. I accept this award and pledge to continue helping all underrepresented communities attain their dreams and reach their goals in the fields of STEM and wherever else they may want to go. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Donald! Well, we've made it to today's final honoree, Geoff, the 2021 HENAAC Award for Executive Excellence, Miss Raquel Rivera of Pratt & Whitney. And what a remarkable story she has. Here to present Raquel Rivera is Christopher Callio, the president of Pratt & Whitney, a Raytheon Technologies business.
I'm thrilled to be joining you virtually here at the Great Minds in STEM Conference. Today I am honored to recognize Raquel Rivera. Raquel is our Vice President of Manufacturing and Assembly, is responsible for manufacturing, final assembly, testing, and delivery of some of our most critical aircraft engines, including our geared turbofan engine and the F-135 for the Joint Strike Fighter. This represents more than 500 engines a year, as well as spare parts, delivered to hundreds of customers around the globe. Raquel is a true aerospace industry professional with extensive manufacturing, supply chain, and quality experience. Despite her significant scope of responsibility, Raquel takes time to invest in others through mentoring and sponsorship, and to develop the next generation of leaders. She not only advocated for the creation of a tool to track Hispanic representation at Pratt & Whitney, but also pulled together a cross-functional team to ensure successful implementation and accountability. And Raquel is intentional about making time to connect with more than 25 Pratt & Whitney employees each month through one-on-ones and events where she coaches the next generation of leaders. And she frequently speaks at high schools in Connecticut and leads plant tours to encourage a passion for STEM. Raquel founded the Pratt & Whitney Hispanic Leadership Forum, or HLF, in 2002, and has served as its executive champion since 2018. Raquel, on behalf of Pratt & Whitney and Raytheon Technologies, it is truly my pleasure to congratulate you for being awarded the Executive Excellence Award for your many accomplishments throughout your career. We're tremendously proud of you. Thank you for your inspirational leadership, and you serve as a role model for all of us at Pratt & Whitney.
I want to start out by saying how honored and humbled I am to be selected as a 2021 Great Minds in STEM honoree. I would like to thank Raytheon Technologies and Pratt & Whitney for their nomination and continued support. I grew up in Puerto Rico with a single mother and 3 brothers, and when I was 15, we moved to Massachusetts looking for a better life. I had to work extra hard when I got here. I was a junior in high school and I didn't speak the language. I was fortunate that the high school I attended had an incredible English as a second language program, as well as great teachers and counselors that got me on my way. It was around this time that I started to develop a love of math and science. My mother worked on the assembly line at Raytheon and would come home every day telling me amazing stories about the work she was doing and how she felt she was a part of protecting our country, as well as my brother, who at the time was serving in Kuwait. Her excitement really influenced me to take my love of math and science and turn it into a career. I received my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Massachusetts, which also had an incredible group of counselors in the minority engineering office who guided me through the whole college life. I joined Pratt & Whitney right out of college, and through their scholar program, I was able to obtain a master's degree in manufacturing engineering. Had many mentors and sponsors, including my husband, that guided me along the way. As a Latinx woman, pursuing my dream of a career in STEM was not easy, but it has been an amazing journey. As I have grown with my career, I have been able to promote the importance of diversity through mentoring young leaders across the company and as one of the executive champions for the Pratt & Whitney Hispanic Leadership Forum. Being able to build, create, and innovate, as well as share my passion for STEM and aviation with others, is something that I am so thankful I get to do every day. Thank you again for this recognition.
Congratulations again, Raquel, and felicidades to all of today's inspiring honorees.
That's gonna do it for the Pursuit of Excellence. You and I will be back here tomorrow for Commitment to Country, Great Minds in STEM's annual salute to STEM in the Uniformed Services, hosted by the Boeing Company and Lockheed Martin.
Have a fantastic evening, everyone, and goodbye.